Wow. Hello, GMTV audience. It's absolute mayhem behind the scenes on GMTV tonight. We're trying to get things going for show number 69. Hey, GMTV audience, how you doing? Well, everybody is trickling in. Show number 69, on our way to show number 88. Whew, everybody's getting rained on. So basically, everybody putting a show on is like, God, I hope it doesn't rain. I'm like, I hope it rains, because when it rains, everybody stays home and they watch GMTV and they hang out and they come on the show and such. So I'm going to give Bill Nolan a minute, and I'm going to talk to my friend, Johnny Leds. Hey, man.
Hey, Ed.
How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm having audio problems, I think. Can you hear me?
You know, it's weird. I hear you fine. Yes, I can definitely hear you. But can you hear me?
I do. I hear a little bit of static.
Oh, okay. Well, Bill Nolan is having some difficulties. You probably hear my air conditioner. I'm nice and cool inside, you know.
You look cool, but you always look cool.
Is it pouring up there yet in Massachusetts?
It is pouring cats and dogs all day. 5 days of rain, but I had 2 good days, which was good. I had a party one of those days.
Yeah. Well, they're good to see you. You know, we've been having some audio gremlins, actually. Bill couldn't hear me. I couldn't hear him. Whatever. We're trying to sort that. I'm going to bring Bill Nolan on right now and see if he's got it fixed. Hey, Bill, how's it going over there? Can you hear me, Bill Nolan? Nope, he can't. So anyway, hey, Johnny Les, you want to kick it off tonight?
Sure.
Has that ever happened? It happened once before, I think, right?
It might have happened. I don't know. How about sure? All right.
What do you got going in there?
An idea.
What?
How about a little Johnny Cash?
All right, that sounds good.
I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that I feel. The needle tears a hole, the old familiar thing. Try to kill it all away, but I remember, yeah. What have I become? My sweetest friend, everyone I know goes away again. But you could have it all. My empire reserved. I will let you down. I will make you I wear this crown of thorns upon my life chair, full of broken parts that I cannot repair. Beneath the sand of time, the feeling is here. You are someone everyone I know knows the way. You could have it all. My empire stirred. I will let you down. I will need you hurt. And if I could start again, a million miles away, I would keep myself. I would find
That's very cool. That was awesome. So that's a Johnny Cash tune, huh?
Actually, it's a Terrence Trent Reznor song, 9 Inch Nails, sang by Johnny Cash, which I just love.
So at the end of his life, he did somebody got to him because he did some weird stuff, in the last couple of years of his life.
Oh, he was weird. And he recorded this. It was the last he recorded 6 months before he died.
It's really cool.
Hopefully
I think he
I'll
was
have
just
more-
like, he just wanted to get as much as he could out there.
Well, that man lived an unhealthy life. The fact that he did whatever he made it to is still pretty impressive.
Yeah, how long did Johnny Cash make it, Because he was pretty old.
50s at least, right?
I don't know. He was pretty old, Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash. See, if I were Conan O'Brien, right, then I would have like a team that would be like in my ear right now going, here's the information on Johnny Cash. Like Johnny Cash, let's see, 1932. And he died in 2003. Now you do the math. He was 8.
like 70 something.
He was 71. That's not so old.
Well, when you buy a car, Ed, you buy a car that's got city miles or highway miles.
Yeah.
Johnny Cash had a lot of
Johnny Cash miles. That is absolutely true.
Oh, yeah. Too funny.
What else you got? Do one more. Bill Mullman finally fixed his problems, but not without laughing. No, it literally is. I'm not going to tell you. It was a very technical thing, and we troubleshot it, and we got it working. I'll let him confess to what it was. What have you got going on there?
Not too much. Just with the same little bit.
Ooh, now your mic is acting up. You sound. Ooh.
Yeah, now my mic sounds off.
Oh, you sound horrible. You need to fix that.
I don't know what to do. Why don't you go for that? I'll see if
I can't hear you at all. Reboot, and we'll bring you back on. Oh my God! It's the night of Gremlins. Hey, Gremlins!
It's Hurricane Elsa.
It's Hurricane Elsa. That's what it is. It's a meteorological event.
Yeah, the place where I work at like Bailey Beach. And
Yeah.
Last week, I guess last Saturday? Was it Saturday before 4th of July or something? There was a rain there, and they had done some work prior to my being there with the sand there.
Right.
And everything in this pavilion, which is the only real building on the thing, was under this much water, like everything. And so today, like already it's under like this much water. And I guess we're going to get some respite till 10 o'clock or something like this.
You get our
But
asses
it's
kicked.
like,
The hurricane's
I
coming
spent the
up.
day raising like freezers out of like the flood line. It's
The glamorous job of being in charge, right?
Oh my God! Why did they give me a white shirt? With my title on it. Why wasn't it like
Oh my
dirt
God!
grease-colored shirt?
Do you at least have like minions? You have like high school students or something, or college students that
we
you
have,
can
we
ask?
have. I work with the head of lifeguards is like sort of my partner in this thing. We do have some like fabulous lifeguards. I feel very often like David Hasselhoff. Everything around me is just in super slow motion.
You look like him too, actually, from time to time. Yeah.
It's all good, and I'm huge in Germany too. So yes, it's like the Hoff, but the no, I do a lot of the yard work, and the lifeguards help on some of the stuff. Trash stuff. Oh my God, I've seen more trash.
Bad.
I've seen
Yeah.
as much trash since I used to go to Studio 54 back in the city. It's unbelievable. Thank you. Woo. Okay, so what was my problem? My freaking volume was down on my computer. That was it. That was my problem.
My least favorite gesture when people
Yes.
come up to the stage, you're in a show and they think they're helping you, and they're musicians who know about PAs, and they go like this. They go, you, and they do this, and you're like, I can't tell if you're turning it up or turning it down, or if it's the world's smallest violin. Like I
Well,
can't
no,
tell.
what they're doing is I'm crushing your head. I'm crushing your head.
Exactly.
You know, no, I mean, to me, it's always, this is my go-to. Or,
Right. Exactly. Or
yeah, right.
yeah. So anyway, my claim to fame. I'm sure I've told this story on the show that I was riding an elevator after the worst job interview in the world, and these two guys get in. This is in the building where Paul Simon's offices are, and they get in and they go, "Son of a bitch, who quits a tour 3 days before we go out?" I told you the story, right?
Yeah, but it's a good story, though.
And they're like, they look at me and they go, hey, and I'm in a suit and everything, and they're like, "Hey kid, do you know how to mix monitors?" And I'm like, actually, I do. That's kind of a weird, random question. Like, you go to the man on the street and you go, but we were in, was it the Brill building that Paul Simon has his office?
Like
It's
49th in the middle of Broadway?
kind of, yeah. It's like yeah, that's exactly where it is. So there was the Brill building, which is this creative place. You would ask somebody, do you know how to mix monitors? And they wouldn't be going, I don't know what you're talking about, you know?
Right.
But I was like, yeah, actually I do. And they're like, do you want to go out on tour with Paul Simon on the Graceland tour? And I was like, well, actually, I just moved to New York. And they're like, forget it, you know?
I just moved to New York, and I'd rather start with a big name, if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
exactly. I'd rather be unemployed than go out with Paul Simon on tour and mix monitors, you know? Oh my God. So, yeah. So what are you going to play for us tonight after all that effort
Well,
to
after
get
all
on?
that, you know, like I feel bad, and I feel bad for, you know, I feel bad that someone else's, you know, electronic ineptitude equaled mine. And
No, something happened with his. Did you hear that? It was like,
Yeah.
it was like
It got
awful.
really weird. This could have something to do with your trip to Area 51. I'm not
It's
sure.
true. By the way, Bailey Beach, do you have live music shows going on down there?
We do. We have one every Sunday for the rest of the summer, with the exception right now of August 1st, but even that might get filled. Because that's when we're all going to be in Ibiza and Tenerife, you know. So,
Right.
You know, when it's August, then we're Europeans, so like we'll be somewhere else there. The Canary Islands, I find.
No, because there's some guy like Big Joe Wallace or something is playing there later in the summer in August. I can't remember his name right now. It's like, it sounds like Big Joe Wallace, or it's one of those names. And he's a young guy who plays like funky music.
Oh.
And we covered one in Last Minute Productions with, you know, we did a video, and it's amazing. Sugarfoot was the thing with Holly did it.
Right.
And this guy's playing at Bailey Beach. I'm like, I know the guy.
Well, I mean, we've had like NRBQ, we've had Blues Traveler, you know, we've had people.
So how do you get in? Can you get in if you're not from town, or?
You can get in if you're in a car. You're gonna have to pay $50 for your car. So bring
Okay.
some friends, you know, and
Right.
do that, and then you can do that. You know, I'm assuming that, you know, because the concerts are being staged by the Rowayton Civic Association. I'm really there just as a guy supplying toilets and cleaning up the trash. You know, so basically, I don't really have anything. You know, this is the first time. This was the first 4th of July where I was working on the other side of the equation. Normally, I've played that gig like probably 7 times, and
Oh, right.
and my usual thing is just, you know, okay, the gig's over. Who's got the envelope? And thank you and good night. You know, and then there would be fireworks. But this year there were no fireworks, and we
Why?
had a monstrous crowd considering there were no fireworks. And some of this is just that COVID release, like music and you know, like, and you know, we'll see if that's sustained this week. You know, I'm.
So
gonna
who
be at
played?
an
Who
event.
played that night?
It was 3 different bands that are all Rowayton locals. A bunch of young guys, including one of my lifeguards who was in a couple of the bands. Very talented kids. You know, they really, you know, they play well. In one of the bands, if you know Matt Ray, his son Johnny was playing.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
Johnny's cut from the same cloth as his old man, you know, and he's an impressive cat when he starts playing guitar.
I've seen
you know.
them both do things together online.
Yeah,
That's really
the
cool.
stuff together is amazing, and Matt to me is like phenomenal, and his son's really good too, and you know, so it was like there was a lot of jammy stuff, a lot of like Grateful Deadish stuff, you know, that kind of thing, but it
Right.
went over like monstrously, and people really were digging it, and you know, it was a good time, and
That's
you
cool.
know, again, we'll see how it goes this week, but I would imagine it'll still be, you know, well attended and appreciated, and I don't know about Big Joe, whatever his name is, but he better be playing
I'm gonna look it
blues.
up. I'm gonna look
With
it
the
up.
blues, he better be playing the blues with a name like that. Anytime
Yeah,
you're
some
big
name.
and-
I'll find out. But he's like a funky guy. Like you listen to the song and you're like, is this James Brown's friend? Like sounds like that. But it was like you look on Spotify and they're like, yep, that came out in 2019. You're like, that's not possible. Like it sounds old, you know. So good stuff. All right, play some songs.
All right, I'm going to play a song that it's a Rolling Stones song that they obviously were big fans of Jimmy Reed, and this is kind of like a Rolling Stones song, but really sounds like Jimmy Reed. You know?
All right.
Sitting, thinking, sinking, drinking, wonder what I do when I'm through tonight. Smoking, moping, maybe just a hoping some little girl will pass on by. Don't wanna be alone, but I love my girl at home. I remember what she said. She said, my, don't tell lies. Keep fidelity in your head. My, don't tell lies. When you're done, you should go to bed. And don't say hide like a spider to a fly. Jump right ahead and you're dead. Sit up, fed up, low down, go round, down to the bar at the place I'm at. Sitting, drinking, superficially thinking about the rinsed out blonde that's on my left. But then I said, hide like a spider to a fly. Jump right ahead and you're dead. She said, my, don't tell lies. Keep fidelity in your head. My, don't tell lies. When you're done, you should go to bed. Well, don't say hi like a spider to a fly. Jump right ahead and you're dead. She was common, flirty. She looked about 30. I would have run away, but I was on my own. She told me later she's a machine operator. Said she liked the way I held the microphone. I said, my, like a spider to a fly. Jump right ahead in my web. My, don't tell lies. Keep fidelity in your head. My, don't tell lies. When you're done, you should go to bed. And don't say hi like a fighter to a fly. Jump right ahead and you're dead. Wow. Funny ending.
I spent the afternoon at Waveney Care Center DJing for the old folks over there. It was
Is that where Steve Avitable works?
no, he works somewhere. Sherry used to work
Sherry,
there at
yeah.
Waveney. Yeah, she used to be the music director, the music therapy director there. And they called me up and they said, "Hey, are you free to DJ for us?" They were having a summer party, so for a couple hours I DJ'd music, played stuff from the the 60s and 70s, because, it's weird. Like, you think I'm going to go to an old people's home and I'm going to play songs that are from like the 40s. Like, I'm going to play Benny Goodman. And they're looking at me like, we were 5 years old when Benny Goodman was playing. Like, like they're not much older than us. Like, I looked at some of these people and I was like, God, he looks kind of like me. And he's retired, and he's at a home. And so, but you think like, so I'm playing like Blues Brothers, I'm playing stuff from the 70s, I'm playing Hall and Oates, and they're all like singing along with Hall and Oates, It's like different thing,
Your Medication is on my list by Hall and Oates. Right?
Yeah, right.
I had a couple of gigs. I think Wendy May hooked me up with something, place in Norwalk, and it cracked me up because I was, I'm playing solo in this thing, and they're very appreciative. It's a breakup of their day. They're so happy. It's all good. But I remember I was playing, a solo version of Wake Up Little Susie, and every time I said wake up, half the people like put their heads off the table and like, what? They're all like, wake up, little, wake up! They're like, what?
Oh my God! So tonight, because of our gremlins that we've had, it's already 8:00, and I promised Ray Simonelli that he could come in, so he'll be in about 5 minutes. So do one more, and then let Ray play a couple, and then I'll have you do a couple more.
Okay. Whatever.
All right. Cool.
I'm gonna rent myself a house in the shade of a freeway. I'm gonna pack my lunch in the morning and go to work each day. And when the evening sun goes around, I'll go on home and lay my body down. And when the morning light comes streaming in, gonna get up and do it again. Amen. Say it again. Amen. I wanna know what become of the changes we waited for love to bring. Were they only the fitful dreams of some great awakening? Been aware of the time gone by. They say in the end it's the wink of an eye. And when the morning light comes streaming in, gonna get up and do it again. Get up again. Caught between the longing for love and the struggle for the legal tender, where the sirens sing and the church bells ring and the junkman pounds his fender, where the veterans dream of the fight, fast asleep at the traffic light, and the children solemnly wait for the ice cream vendor. Out of the cool of the evening goes the pretender. He knows that all of his hopes and dreams begin and end there. Oh, for the lovers as they run through the night, leaving nothing but to choose off and fight. Oh, and tear at the world with all their might, while the ships up bearing their dreams sail out of sight. I'm gonna find myself a girl who can show me what laughter means. Then we'll fill in the missing colors in each other's paint by numbered dreams. Then we'll put our dark glasses on, and we'll make love until our strength is gone. And when the morning light comes streaming in, gonna get up and do it again. Amen. Get it up again. Amen. Gonna be a happy idiot and struggle for the legal tender, where the ads take aim and lay their claim to the heart and soul of the spender, and believe in whatever may lie in those things that money can buy. And true love could have been a contender. Are you there? Say a prayer for the pretender who started out so young and strong, just to surrender. Oh, say a prayer for the pretender. Are you there for pretender? Was I prepared for the pretender? Dubious.
Hey, Dave Rao. How you doing, man? What you been up to, Dave Rao?
A lot of rehearsing, a couple of gigs here and there.
Yeah, I've been doing the same. I'm lucky to my calendar, my dance card is filling up for the summer. I'm glad to hear, but not doing jams yet.
Yeah, right.
I got too much going on. I've got like all these trips that I'm taking. I just got back from 2 weeks on the motorcycle out west, and I'm going out to Wisconsin, and I'm going to Nova Scotia. I've got all this stuff going on, but I'm like every other day is filling up with Soul Daddy gigs and Blues Patrol stuff, and I'm glad that it's happening.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds great. I'd like to be busier, obviously, but
You will be. It'll happen. Like all of a sudden it'll fill up.
Yeah. Well, it did for a couple of weeks there. It looked like it was going to be like stop,
But you got to remember. Connecticut, notwithstanding that June was like, oh my God, we're back from COVID. July and August get very sleepy around Connecticut.
Oh yeah.
People are away, people are traveling. That's what happens. And if you're doing a jam, you coast through. You're like, okay, we're gonna get enough people, or they don't hate us, and we're gonna make it through. But I would never start a jam in July. What a fiasco. Right. And that's what's happening now. Everybody's going away. Everybody's traveling. Believe me, they're all out west at the national parks. It was jammed out there.
But the question is, when is summer? If it's already sleepy in July and August, summer didn't start till like June 18th when high school got out, and it's over.
My lizard brain says that summer is June, July, August, but it really isn't. Summer's really July, August, September, but it feels like, I guess, because summer vacation for school was always June, July, August.
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah, it's barely June though. It's really July 4th, August.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
I mean, being in the retail business, I was in the retail business in Westport, in the area, for a long time, and it was always, you built up your stock for like right before July 4th, and hope that you sold everything, because after July 4th, it was like a ghost town.
Right, exactly.
I'm actually going to a wedding this weekend, and I believe I will be wearing the suit that you hooked me up with.
Wow, excellent!
It was a nice gray it was gray with a subtle pinstripe on it. It was very nice.
Excellent.
Where's your wedding? Is it in town or out of town?
It's in Lake George.
Lake George, very nice.
Right up there.
Yeah. So hopefully and I think the weather will be good. I mean, we're leaving tomorrow morning, but I think the weather will be good by midday Friday, and then maybe for the whole weekend. Who knows?
That's very cool. I went to Lake George when I was a kid. I went to Lake George and Lake Champlain, and I deserve a trip back up there because I don't really remember it that well. Lake George is not Ticonderoga. Ticonderoga is Lake Champlain, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I haven't been up there since the Revolutionary War, so I really don't remember. It was a long time ago.
You bumped your head during the battle, right?
Well, once I ran out of powder, that was it. And, I just came home then.
Your nose is a little shiny now that you mention it.
Right.
So here's Ray Simonelli. How you doing, Ray?
How you doing, man? What's going on?
It's good to see you. Everybody's been having gremlins today. I don't know if it's the hurricane coming through, Elsa, but
I had to turn around my computer like 5 times.
I had sound problems. Then I was like, oh, thank God, I've solved my sound problems. That Bill couldn't hear me, and then like Johnny Les, he never even made it back. His computer has been like cooking, and then Ray had to log on. It's been crazy, But Ray's got. So tell me where you're going, Ray, because you got something else to go to, right?
No, I have to go over to the Black Duck. The jam's on tonight.
That's great.
And I got somebody giving me a ride at 8:30, so I have to leave in a little while.
All right. Well, why don't you play a couple numbers for us, and we'll chat after.
All right. I want to say though, Nolan.
Razor.
I love Spider and the Fly. I'm glad that you did that. I was listening to it before.
We used to do that with at Bobby Q's. We used to do that with Richard
Yeah.
Keith.
Yeah. No, I've always really liked that song.
It's better with harmonica.
All right. Here we go.
And stick around, Bill Nolan, because you got a couple more songs coming up after this.
Follow her to the station. With a suitcase in my hand. Yes, I followed her to the station. With a suitcase in my hand. Notice it's hard to tell. All your love's in vain. When the train come in the station, looked her in the eye. Yeah, when the train come in the station, I looked her right in the eye. Oh, I feel so sad and lonesome. All I can do is cry. I wanna tell you. Train, left the station. Had two last song behind. Yeah, when the train left the station, had your last song behind. Whoa, the blue light won my blues. The red light was my mind. That come through okay? Uh-oh, I can't hear Ed.
Because I don't know what button to push. That
Oh,
sounded
now
great.
I hear you good.
That
I thought
sounded
something was
terrific.
wrong with my system again.
No, it's me. It's my brain. I was over at Waveney today. You've done that Waveney gig, right?
I haven't played there, but I've been to a few gigs there. Yeah.
Yeah, I had fun. It was weird. You know, they're still wearing masks, all of them, and they're
Oh wait,
still
are you talking about inside or the concert?
Waveney
outside?
Care Center. No, Waveney Care
Oh
Center.
yeah, you know, I've played there with Bill Gagan. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I just did that today. I DJ'd for the
Oh,
crowd.
that's so nice.
It was kind of fun. You know, Sherry's not there anymore, so they
I
called me
know.
up, and I was like, "Oh, they remembered me after the pandemic." It was kind of like going home.
Oh, that's so nice. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. So
Lots of fun, man. Lots of fun.
cool. We'll do one more for us. I know you're in a pinch for time.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, sorry I can't hang out too long.
No, it's all
tonight,
good.
But thanks for letting me play. All right, here we go.
Awesome.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So take the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question, but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you have the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind. Hang them on the shelf in good health and good times. Tattoos and memory, and yeah, skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth a little while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you have a time of your life. Here's where Ed Train comes in on accordion usually. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you have the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you have the time of your life.
Ray Simonelli.
All right. Cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Very nice.
Fantastic. Have fun over at the Duck tonight.
We usually do. That's the good news. It usually all comes together magically. We stopped trying to figure out why. It just works. All right, guys, I got to run.
All right. Good to see you, Ray.
All right. Thanks a lot, man. See you later.
Bill Nolan. You're back.
I never went anywhere.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but you wouldn't have noticed, Bill, because I was never on. But I actually changed my T-shirt. I had a green T-shirt on before, and it had like these two stripes right here.
This should,
Like
this should
that
be
one.
like, you know, like one of those things in those, like the kids magazines. Like, what's different in this picture? You know, like,
It would have been like that.
you know, I like your backdrop there. Like, you know, you have the most cultured environment
true.
of all of us. You know, looks like a museum or something. You know,
Is that one of your? Did your dad paint that?
That's actually my grandfather. He was.
your grandfather painted that?
Yeah. Well. Yep. Let's see.
That's
if we-
amazing.
Yeah. That's. I'll
I mean,
get out of the way here.
that's art. That's amazing.
That's art. That's classical.
I gotta- there's a lot of that in my family. I don't know if I talk about my father all the time. I don't know if you guys, but I, you know, don't get me started. I'll be all night. Like, I have a lot of artists in the family.
And did you do anything graphic like that? Do you do stuff like that?
You know, I did some artwork here and there, but you know, I was always distracted by music. I was always distracted by playing.
Yeah, you put a paintbrush in each hand and hit things with it. That's
Exactly.
your way of doing it.
Hey,
Makes for a
that
good
worked
back-
for that worked for Jackson Pollock.
Yeah, exactly.
So speaking of Jackson, you played a Jackson Brown tune before, right?
Yes.
So getting back on track here, and I remember when I was watching you do it, I was thinking to myself that we used to listen to albums. Obviously, we listened to albums. So you get an album. I wasn't going out to live music. I was cooped up at home, or I was cooped up at boarding school, or whatever it was, and I would get an album, and it was almost like, yeah, okay, you bought the album for this song and this song, or maybe just one song, but there were, you know, 8 or 9 songs on the record, or 10 songs on the record, and they forced you to listen to like that one that you're like, I wouldn't have bought that if it was a single. But they made you listen to it, and it grew on you. And it's like, oh, that's a different aspect to the artist. And every record had a way of sort of weaving it in itself into your body. And we don't do that anymore. I mean, we might, but nobody does that anymore. They buy a hit and that's it.
Well, I mean, honestly, my experience with albums, because I am significantly older than you are, was different even than yours, because my thing was really, you were more artist centric, you know, so like, you know, I mean, I remember certain albums so distinctly the first time I've heard them. And, you know, like my friend Eddie Wright, I remember the first time I heard Hendrix's Are You Experienced was in his, you know, dining room. They had one of those like furniture hi-fis, you know, like,
Right.
you know, the thing was like, it was as big as a, you know, like a truck, you know.
Right.
But I remember in those days, we would sit down with an album and honestly listen to it 5-6 times in a row.
Right.
And, you know, we didn't have a concept, because none of those artists, you know, Jimi Hendrix wasn't a singles artist. So you were brought to it by Jimi Hendrix. Either you heard something about it or something like that. And you listened to, you know, it was album tracks, which is why, you know, FM became so resonant with us, because suddenly we weren't listening to hits. We were listening to album tracks. And you know, for me, that's what it always was. That and reading the liner notes and falling in love with certain players and then seeing them on other people's albums. And then I'd buy the albums just because Leon Russell was on it, you know, like that kind of thing, you know. And
Right. The actual physical record was very important.
Fabulous.
The cover art and the liner notes were like, you know, because you didn't have a lot to read. You had the cereal box and you had the New York Times, but yet you're like, the liner notes was like somehow precious, you know, like, oh,
Yeah.
precious thing.
Once you got through the cereal and you ordered the baking soda Frogman, like once you had already done that, you know, then, you know, you needed something like album things to read, you know, because
Right. Like Gabriel Ryan doesn't even remember like buying songs for 99 cents on iTunes.
Yes,
That
I
was
do.
way before your time.
No, it's not.
How you doing, man?
I don't remember. I never lived in a world without iPads. Yeah.
But did you listen to albums? Did you listen to a
Yes.
tape or an album or an 8-track or
Mm-hmm.
like what was that? Actual records, physical records, CDs?
No, not actual records, but I do remember CDs very vividly. Actually, my dad got a bunch of them for us.
Right, and you'd listen to the whole thing. You'd listen
Yes.
beginning to end.
Mm-hmm. Evanescence's Fallen, the best of Arrested Development. Yeah, those 2 albums were like huge for my musical development.
Right, but now you don't listen to albums, right? Now you listen to an individual song from an artist, and that's it.
No, not really. I mean, here and there, like if I'm like in the car, I'll usually listen to individual songs. But if I have some time, I'll listen to full albums. Especially MGK just released an album called "Tickets to My Downfall." I listen to that usually front to back. So, I'm
Right,
not
that's
young,
the way.
Ed.
Oh, yes, you are.
Ed thinks I'm 12.
Yeah. But anybody under 40 to me is 12. That's it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was definitely part of the growing up experience. Just listening and the adolescent experience. Just listening to an album, looking at the album art, finding out who it is on the album. You always knew everybody in the band. Back then you knew all the bands and all the personnel because you always looked at the liner notes. It was all part. It was just you sat there and did it like that.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe it happens now. I know I don't do it now, but that's because my life's completely different now.
What it doesn't do now is you don't have the physical thing, as Ed is talking about, that was large. So like Wheels, Cream of Fire. I mean, Cream, Wheels of Fire.
Yes, yeah, I know. Which
They
one you're
had
talking.
the cover was foil printed. Like a foil printed, black on just foil printed. You opened it, and it was this Dayglow abstract in there, done by a guy named Martin Sharp, who's done a lot of album stuff. He was like a big guy. It was perfect for cleaning pot on, and if you happen to have like a black light, it was like a whole nother experience. And they would put out an album, double album, like at the drop of a hat, which became so cost prohibitive. And I remember Johnny Winter put out an album that was 3-sided. Like they just threw away one side of it, Like it was just
What did they do? There was just nothing on it.
Right?
It was the one called Second Winter, actually.
And there was nothing on the fourth side?
Nothing. And I will bet you there were a number of people that played that side anyway.
And I bet
they'd
you
already cleaned their pot on Wheels of Fire. That's right.
I bet
Was
you
that
there were people in the studio like, Johnny, we're not going to do this. This is expensive and stupid. Let's just release an EP with these tracks on it separately.
Brilliant.
And he's
Right.
like sitting there,
Right.
I don't even know doing what, like bragging about playing with Muddy
Yeah,
and being like, no, I'm going to do it anyway.
There was an album by Jethro Tull called Stand Up, which was their second album. It was a great album. When you opened it, it had a pop-up, paper architectural thing that came up where the band members, stood up, and they were like, it was like a tie shadow puppets kind of thing. But it's the Stones, they had Andy Warhol with a working zipper on Sticky Fingers.
Right.
That basically screwed like every rack jobber who was trying to stack that record. It destroyed the record that it was on. It's like, but still they got him to do it, and it was like that's when art was kind of fun. Like the album covers were really part of it, which never really translated to CDs. I liked CDs a lot. I had a lot of CDs.
As I remember,
it was so small though, Gabe. It was like so tiny. It wasn't like.
Yeah. I'll give you
It's
that.
not that they didn't do great art on them. It's just that they were so tiny. You
Yeah,
couldn't
I'll give you
clean
that.
pot on them.
I got a bunch
So
of
I
those
heard.
for my kid. Definitely, but I got old ones. They got like Dark Side of the Moon and the Chicago Silver and like the 10-year Space and Time. Like the old classics. When they like wore them out. I tried to use them in a few months after they were done with them. They were trash.
Yeah. I mean, this.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Sgt. Pepper was the first album that had lyrics. It was the first album where you had the lyrics to the album on the album, and
Right.
and it also had that funny little like an insert where you could cut out like a mustache so you would look like you were in Sgt. Pepper's.
Oh, yeah, right.
And the foolish people that cut that out rather than keeping it, were the aftermarket thing went right out the window as soon as you cut that. But I mean, I still have about maybe 20 albums, and they're all just that. They're design things. They're things that, that just, that were kind of cool because of the way they use the art.
Right, and then videos came along. Oh, Gabe's taking a walk.
Gabe's moving. Gabe is moving. Gabe is moving.
Albums here.
The bird is in the nest. Gabe is moving.
Let me see your album collection.
There's the saga of what is it?
I've only got 2 of
Some
them.
girls.
I have,
Was it?
I have a Discharge album. This is
Okay.
Hear Nothing, See Nothing, Say Nothing.
But that's a cool cover.
Yeah,
That's a cool cover.
Yeah, right. I mean, they were like big, like anarcho-pacifists, like fuck your war, fuck your taxes, fuck your capitalism kind of thing. Good stuff. And this is a local group. This is the Angry Cougars. I saw them actually last year. They're pretty sick, but they're loud. This is all very, very loud stuff inspired by like the late 80s.
let me tell you, your generation, you see, this is how I look at your generation. You're using film cameras again. You're using records. You're not like, you're boycotting like this internet thing kind of, you're all growing beards. You are going to come after all of us with a guillotine. Like we're going to be the French Revolution all over again. Like in 2 years, Gabriel Ryan's going to be like carrying the flag down the square,
Not at all. Not at all. I like the pacifist thing. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna bother you.
Yeah, that's what Molotov said. He said, no, I'm not going to throw bombs through your window. No.
No, it's just every time you try to get a sandwich, the meat's gonna be overcooked every single time. You're gonna be like, "Fuck this! I gotta move."
You're gonna be activated by getting a bad cup of coffee at Starbucks. It's gonna be like, fucking man is fucking me with the bad coffee. Fuck it, that's not a latte. No more shitty coffee.
Something else, charge what they charge.
Wow, I don't know where everybody is, but there's some decent thunder happening right now.
Yeah, it's raging out there. Like, oh my God. It's amazing. All right, Bill Noble, do one more. Come on.
All right. This is a Grateful Dead song, and a lot of people hate the Grateful Dead. I like the Grateful Dead, but they do have one of the great lyricists of all times is Robert Hunter, who wrote a lot of stuff with Jerry Garcia, and he's a great lyricist. And I will fight that one out. That one I will argue with. If you don't like their music, that's okay. It's subjective, but whatever. On timbers of Venerio, wolves are running round. Winter was so hard and cold, so his friends see on the ground. Don't murder me, I beg of you, don't murder me. Please don't murder me. I sat down for my supper, 'twas a bottle of red whiskey. I said my prayers, I went to bed, that's the last they saw of me. Don't murder me, I beg of you, don't murder me. Please don't murder me. When I awoke, a dire wolf, 600 pounds of sin, was skinning at my window. All I said was, come on in, don't murder me. I beg of you, don't murder me. Please don't murder me. The wolf came in, I got my cards, we sat down for a game. I cut my deck to the queen of spades, but the cards were all the same. Don't murder me, I beg of you, don't murder me. Please don't murder me. In the backwash of Venerio, the black and bloody mom, when the wolf collect his due while the boys sing round the fire. Don't murder me, I beg of you, don't murder me. Please don't murder me. Don't murder me. I beg of you, don't murder me. Please don't murder me. Please don't murder me. Well, I chunked that one up a little bit, but there you are.
Bill Nolan, fantastic.
It only gets worse from there, kids.
It was great, though. I loved it.
It was great.
Thank you, kid. Thank you.
It was
kid.
good. Weirdest Guinea Pig Theater hour ever. It's 8:34, and you
And
can
we've had 3
afford
songs.
one of those crazy nights. My God.
Anyway.
Bailey Beach. Everybody go to Bailey Beach. $50 a car, and you got to see. Oh, what was that video? I gotta find it. It was. Did you ever see it, Bill? It was Holly doing Sugarfoot.
Was it one of your like big production videos? The one where we had it was like the Partridge Family, except everybody was musicians. It was like
Yes, exactly. I gotta show it. I gotta show it right now. You got to watch this.
No, it's great. I mean, all of them are great. Anything,
This one's great.
Anything
But
Holly related is
the
always
guy
good.
who wrote this, and I'm sure it's going to be in the credits because Mike is meticulous about that. The guy who's in the credits is playing at Bailey Beach later this summer. We're all going to come. We're going to pile like 80 people in my van and come in. It'll be like $4 a person. You know.
Come on down.
Check
And
this
if that
out.
band is a rocking,
Check-
don't come a knocking.
Check this out. I'm going to play it right now.
Sugarfoot called me last night. Said his girl called him. Said, can I come over? He said, yeah. So she called him on the telephone. Said, hello, baby, how are you doing? Can I come over singing tonight? I promise that you'll be feeling right as you give me love. Hey, I'm the Sugarfoot. She come on over knocking at my door. I went downstairs and let her in. Straight up to my bedroom we going. Just doing things I'll never know. Ever give me love. Hey, I'm Sugarfoot. Brought me down straight to my knees. Just doing things I've never seen. Got me crying just like a baby. Told my baby you just free. Hey, just give me love. Hey, I'm Sugarfoot. Hey, where my horns at? You with me? Yeah. You with me? Yeah. You ready? Yeah. I said, no, baby, give it your loving. I need it. I'm squeezing. I'm touching. I'm rubbing. I told you, come on out here, baby. You gotta give me my sugar. Wow, she give me love. Hey. Got me feeling so dang good. Laid up in the middle of the night. My baby don't let me get no rest. Brought me down straight to my knees. Oh, give me love.
That's outstanding.
Black
Yeah.
Joe Lewis.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
That's who it was. Black Joe Lewis. Doesn't he sound like an old blues or funk guy?
No,
Black
totally.
Joe Lewis.
You know,
He's a
Honey
young
Boy
guy.
Andrews.
Every old fighter.
Right. Black Joe Lewis. I mean, come on, you know.
With a name like that, right?
That's outstanding, man. You know. And
Yeah.
So you put that together. You put that together track by track, right? Is that how?
Yeah, like we send a backing track to people and they would put their headphones on and listen to the backing track and play their part along with the backing track. And then we'd have it all in sync and we'd be able to stitch it all together. It was
I
really
mean, it's astounding how great the horn section sounds. You know, like given
Yeah.
that it's all done
Yeah,
individually
right.
like that. That's
a lot of
That's amazing.
times what was required would be that you would go in, you would take some extra care to make sure that the backing track was on a beat. And so that you could quantize the horn parts, you move them all and you change the intonations and the articulation so that they matched. It was like the amount of work, you know, but what else did we have going on? We had nothing, you know, it was a
Nothing.
pandemic.
well. Also, that's how every Britney Spears album was made. So you know.
Exactly. So wasn't
That's
this the
right.
one that you said was hard to get started because Holly starts it on her own or something like that? Was that this
Yeah,
one?
I think Mike did this one. Mike stitched this one together, and it's just how do you do hits when the singer goes ba da da ba, like
Right.
nobody's doing this, and so you're like on stage it's hard enough to get it right, but it was
Yeah.
very very tricky to get that all lined up and get that to work.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
Yeah, we just had a lot of time on our hands. I mean, like Mike and I in the early days and Mike later, we spent 20 hours a song working on it, but we had
Oh.
nothing. There was nothing else going on, so it was like might as well do this awesome stuff.
Hey, by
It's
the way,
like, yeah,
is this-
I can't charge you for my time because it costs $10,000 or more.
Right.
Is this week 16? 69 rather. Is that-
69, week 69, baby.
No jokes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Somebody had to say it.
I was curious. I thought, you know.
69. So that's 18 to 88. No, 19 to 88. We're in the
There you
home
go.
stretch.
I don't even know.
I'm
what that
so
means.
young.
Because we talked about getting 88 shows. It's
Yeah,
only
yeah.
19 more shows.
Gabe wasn't even born when we started this.
Right, exactly.
I hate to.
You remember
I hate to tell you,
Gabe
but
before the
that's-
pandemic?
I hate to tell you, but that's the year I graduated from high school. You know.
Oh my God.
Class of
60s.
69, baby. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm so
Summer
young.
Top that,
About
bitches.
69.
You know.
Yeah, right. He doesn't even get it. He doesn't even know what that is.
I'm still in health class in high school. I don't know what it is.
Right.
I'm so
Whatever
Yeah,
you
public
do,
education.
don't Google it. Don't Google it. The summer of 69 is not what you think it is.
Oh my God, Ed. You
Or
really
maybe
don't
it
think you
is.
knows what that means.
Or maybe it is.
It was.
Maybe it is. Exactly. My God. I graduated high school in the 80s for crying out loud. Gabe graduated in like 2019. It's like crazy.
Again.
14.
I remember your first legal drink. You had it at the Cobb's Mill Inn.
Wow.
I probably
Remember that?
ate more.
Yeah, and then it was all downhill from there.
Yeah. It's good you didn't see my last book. I don't remember it. I don't remember it. By the
Nice.
grace
You know,
of
you
God.
never remember your first legal drink. You know, that's.
Well, I got screwed. All right, not in a good way. Connecticut. See, I went to high school in Connecticut. Actually, I was never from here, but I went to boarding school in Connecticut. And Connecticut, the year I turned 18, which is like, yes, I get to drink. They're like,
They
no.
moved it to 21.
On January 1st, it went to 19. And
Oh.
my birthday was March 2nd. So 2 months before my birthday, they made it 19. And then the next year, they made it 20. And the next year, they made it 21. So I got screwed by 2 months and didn't have my first legal drink for years after that.
That's why the good Lord invented
I remember
Portchester, my
that.
friend. That's,
Exactly.
I was here then. I remember that.
Portchester was the place that when I was in high school, everybody had a fake ID, as they still do today. They all have fake IDs today. they're hilarious. Like my daughter got a fake ID. She got it from China, and it has like holograms on it and all this stuff. and then I say, like, well, Delaney, this thing says Ohio on it, but you have the address where we live here in Connecticut. And she said that's so when they quiz you at the door of a bar, you'll know the address. You'll just kick it back. And it's like genius, like that's why my girl's going to go far. She's going to go far because she's devious and,
Spend more time circumventing the rules.
You're going to be in Chinatown one day, and you're going to see a Chinese girl that looks remarkably like your daughter who got into this country on her driver's license.
I don't know where this is going, but I don't think I like it.
It's a giant immigration scam.
Yeah, right.
Amazing. Gabe Ryan, you going to do something on the harmonica for us tonight?
I will, but can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you good. Better than ever.
Okay. Y'all are coming in a little staticky, but I can understand you.
Your haircut's a little staticky, but other than that, you're doing good.
Hey, he's got a haircut.
He's
Okay.
like the mean uncle.
Good.
I'm the mean uncle, exactly. More like the mean grandfather. Oh my God.
You've got hair.
Get off my lawn.
I admire you.
Gabriel
Yeah.
Ryan, I just want you to answer one question. Just answer it, okay?
Sure.
How old is your father?
My father, I believe he's 60.
How much?
60.
60?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, your father's older than some of us.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. I thought I was going to go for like I'm old enough to be your grandfather thing, but I'm not.
Oh my God. Come on, Gabriel, go for it.
Who's getting electrocuted?
I don't know.
That sounds like an alien where the thing came out of his chest.
All right, go for it, Gabriel.
Sure.
Oh, now you sound like the alien. What did you do? Did you move? Did you? No, you sound terrible now. Did you move into the alien ward?
No. I can skip it tonight. I'm honestly just happy to be here.
Oh my God, I'm happy to be here. No, your mic is something happened in the last 10 seconds, and you sound terrible.
Is that hovering
my
outside
God.
his window?
Maybe you went into he stopped because I muted him. Go back where you were.
The worst thing, you had to like take all this abuse, and then your audio went down.
Exactly, and that is audio was. So Bill, do one more. Come on, do one more.
God!
Seriously?
Seriously.
If you can understand me.
I've been warped by the rain, driven by the snow. I'm drunk and dirty. Don't you know that I'm still willing? Drove the highway late last night. I see my pretty Alice in every headlight. Alice, Dallas, Alice. I've been from Tucson to Tucumcari, to Hatchapee to Tonopah. I've driven every kind of rig that's ever been made. Driven in the back roads so wouldn't get weighed. And if you give me wee, whites and wine, you show me a sign, I'll be willing to be moving. Been warped by the rain, kicked by the sleet, had my head stoved in, I'm still on my feet, I'm still willing. Smuggled from smokes and folks in Mexico, baked by the sun every time I go to Mexico. But I've been from Tucson to Tucumcari, to Hatchapeta, Tonopah. I've driven every kind of rig that's ever been made, yeah. I've driven in the back road so it wouldn't get weighed. And if you give me whites and wine, you show me a sign, I'll be willing to be moving.
See, Bill knows.
We lost Gabe.
Bill knows I love Lil George.
I love Lil George. I played another one last
haircut
week,
ending.
and I almost played another one today that was like different.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Lowell's.
Any little feat you ever want to play, man?
Ah, good. Let's do that.
So how old is that song? Is that an old song or a new song?
It's from the 70s.
Oh, okay. I
It's
only
from-
heard it recently, I think.
You know, it's from their first album, which isn't as well known as their second album, and I believe they did it again on their second album, possibly, or maybe not. Maybe they just did the first.
I think it was on. It might have been on Sailing Shoes, which was like
Yes.
third or fourth or something. I don't know.
Well, Sailing Shoes is like their second, I think. Their first
was
one was
it?
just called Little Feet.
Right. I remember
and
that.
Then
The house
Sailing
fire.
Shoes, and then Dixie Chicken.
Right.
And they're all great. I mean, they were, and they're like, you know, a band that was so great. They had such a great flavor. You know, they felt, they were kind of like Creedence Clearwater. Like Creedence Clearwater felt like they were from the swamp. They're from San Francisco. And
Yeah.
Little Feet felt like they were from, you know, the ninth ward of New Orleans. And Lil George went to Hollywood High.
Right.
Oh, we did. Wow.
So so they were sort of undefinable in a certain way. You know?
Yeah, and
That's
one of
totally-
the greatest drummers. You know, like
Oh, Richie, yeah.
there's a guy that, like, you know, could keep time like Earl Palmer and then be as heavy as John Bonham. You know, like he was a great, and they're all, you know, rest in peace, Richie Hayward. You know.
Yeah. Great style.
Yep. So what happened to
No.
Gabe?
Gabe, I think, had a massive internet problem. You know, I think this storm is actually.
I was just getting hit with lightning when you were playing that song. I don't know about you guys. Definitely.
It's calmed down where I am, but you know, it's like it's going to be on and off, and who knows if we survive even the show. Like, but I have a feeling there was something internet related that just took him out. You know,
right?
With your optimistic and sunny host Ed Train, I don't know if we'll survive the show. You know, it's like
I don't know if we'll survive. I think it's like
fabulous.
Yikes!
We'll come back and we'll all be fried with ours popping out.
That's right. That's a picture that I want. That is the picture.
Barbera, you know, it's gonna be like.
Everybody make the face. I'll take the picture. You know, there we go. Everybody bug out.
This is what he looked
Okay,
like
there
when he
we
got
go.
electrocuted.
Yeah, lightning and whatever. And I've got headphones on with a wire. Like, oh, how could this possibly go wrong?
Hey, move up to the 20th century.
Wireless.
21st, I guess.
Wireless.
Wow.
Of course, you're in a high rise, right?
Yeah.
What floor are you on?
24th.
Yeah, okay, you're done.
Lightning
You're
hit
cooked.
27th.
Don't they call that the lightning rod floor? You know.
Yeah.
No, that's the 27th that got hit over here earlier.
Did it really?
Well, it was a really loud clap of thunder, and then I looked on the map and it said within 0.0 of your location.
Wow.
I heard one of those today.
It was loud.
All of mine have been like 10 miles. They've all been like lightning 10 miles, like that thing.
It's scary. When I was I was riding across western Colorado near Grand Junction, and I started in Green River, which is north of Moab, and I was heading across the desert. And about 20 miles ahead, I saw a storm, like a cell. And it was sunny where I was. It wasn't raining, and I saw the cell, and I went, that doesn't look right to me. That cell is touching the ground. Like it wasn't like a space and then a bunch of rain. It was like the cell went all the way to the ground. And I went, I don't want I don't have rain gear on. I don't want to go through this. So I slowed down, went 45 miles an hour. It's like the speed limit was 80 miles an hour, right? So I slowed down to 40 from 90, and I'm cruising along, and I'm waiting for it to drift off the highway, right? And then the highway's turning into it, right? Like, seriously. And then finally, it was about 10 miles away, and then it just drifted off the highway, and I could see the highway past it. And I was like, all right, no problem. And then I kept going, and it was started to rain, but it was okay. I had my helmet and my, some sort of rain jacket on, and I skirted it. And later that day, the report was that was a tornado that had touched down. Yeah. And when I passed that spot, there were 2 pickup trucks flipped over in the median.
Wow!
Oh man!
Like big pickup trucks.
They didn't survive it.
Yeah, no, they were okay. They were like all like the trucks had tumbled off the highway. One tumbled from the oncoming traffic into the middle, and the other one tumbled from my lane into the middle. So it hit them. Like square
there was
on.
A third pickup truck that ended up in Oz.
Exactly.
Woo! With cows, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, in Wyoming, you don't drive into a storm like that. I was going along one time, and it was about 90 degrees outside and sunny, and you could see the storm up on the horizon on the top of the hill. Came over the hill, and it just was white out with about 4 inches of snow on the road.
Yeah.
That quick.
Yeah.
Right.
Like doing 70 and going, oh crap, how do I get slowed down?
I had a bad feeling. I looked at the storm about literally, this, Dennis, like we don't have this out here where you could see 30 or 40 miles down the road. Yeah. And you're like, there's a thunderstorm there and there's one there. And you're like, I don't know if I want to speed up and get into that. So
yeah. Or can I get between them? Or
in Wyoming, you probably see the storm, 50 miles away.
Oh, at least.
Oh, who's that dog?
Who's a good boy?
Who's that dog?
Scared of the storm. He's over here like cringing at the feet.
He looks like he got hit by lightning. His eyes are all lit up,
Yeah, that's just Dewey.
There was a great cartoon, one of my favorite cartoons. It's like 2 dogs sitting at a desk, and one looks like a potential employer, and right. It's an interview, and the employer is saying to him, well, your resume looks good. It says you're a good boy.
I love any joke with a talking animal. It's awesome to me.
No question.
Any joke. All right, I'm going to play. Dennis sent me a couple of videos. I'm going to play one.
Okay.
From back in the olden days when we used to make videos like men during the pandemic,
Now.
Oh, you're gonna take me home tonight. Oh, down beside that red firelight. Oh, you're gonna let it all hang out. That bottom girl, you make the rocking world go round. I was just a skinny lad. Never know no future man. I can love before I left my nursery. Left alone with Big Fat Fanny. She was such a naughty nanny. Big would you make that boy happy? I've been singing with the band, across the wild, across the land. I've seen every wild music on the way. Every smile that points smooth after a while, taking 30 days to the end time. Oh, you're gonna take me home tonight. Oh, down beside
Phenomenal.
It's kind of fun. Look back on some of those. I was going to do a collage of all of them, but I've got like 30 songs, so it's taken a while.
Gonna do a mashup of them?
Yeah. But I got 30, so it might be 3 or 4 episodes you have to put up with.
Right, exactly. You know,
no one's
and
going to sit through 45 minutes of music.
we were
videos.
doing like 1 or 2 a week.
Right.
Like, and then now, like people are back. It's like it's over. Like,
I know.
take all the skills of collaborative video that you gained over the pandemic. It's
Yeah.
like gone. You know.
Yeah.
I
No
don't
one
know.
wants to do anything.
I don't know.
You think
Now
we'll
looks
do
like Mike's in business.
Maybe in the winter we'll be
We'll get
frozen
back
in
to
our
it.
house and we'll be back
You
doing
still
it.
people need videos now more than ever. You know,
Well,
There's-
right, but they're going to
bands are
say,
starting up, they're going to need stuff like that.
Right.
yeah, and they'll say, how much you want to charge us for that? And it's like, well, I was screwing around and learning things. Some of them took me 200 hours to put together, you know?
Right. Yeah, exactly. You buy a computer to be able to do it better, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Man, we got your back, Gabriel Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are a little staticky, but not like the alien.
You sound like the alien at Area 51. This is what you sound
me
like.
in the morning.
You're like, my name is Gabriel Ryan. Oh my god.
Now you sound like Alien.
Now we sort of got you. Yeah. You're drifting in and out. You know, you probably
Yeah, you got static.
there are 1,000 lightning bolts a second between us and Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
I think it's my laptop isn't letting me connect to the Wi-Fi. I don't know why.
No, we got you now. It's all good. I'm gonna play one more at Dennis's.
Oh,
Which one am I gonna play? Can't Find My Way Home, right?
yeah, that was kind of a fun one.
No, check it out.
Kind of a mellow song.
It's
Down off your throne, and you do about it alone. Somebody must change. You are the reason I've been waiting so long. Somebody wants to leave, but I'm feeling that I just ain't got the time. And I'm wasted and I can't find my way home.
Stuff. Good stuff. Definitely good stuff.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah,
That came out.
Frank's Ghost in there. I saw that. I was like, oh, Frank's in there. Look, there
Yeah.
he is. I was wondering who's singing that.
Yeah, that was the surprise, Tommy.
So check this out. This is the radar, the live radar
Yeah.
of what's going on here.
Yeah, I can believe it.
Oh my God. So this thing right here, oh my God, that's a bad thing. That's the remnants of the hurricane that's coming in.
I didn't
Well,
think it
no,
was
the
supposed to be here
hurricane's
till
not here.
1.
That's the hurricane there.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
this
it's
on the
in
bottom.
Richmond, Virginia. Yeah.
The hurricane's not going to be as bad as what we're getting now.
no, but it won't hit here until early
It's gonna be
morning.
fast.
Yeah, right now we're going into
Really
this
fast.
nice little calm, this calm before the storm that's coming up from New
Stuff up
Jersey.
here, this stuff above New York, you see it right there, but it's like it's above us almost.
That was nasty. Yeah, that's moving out, and now the wind is coming in. 'Cause this thing's got like 40-mile-an-hour winds. It's not hurricane force or anything, but it's bad.
Right. But it's moving fast, which is better than if it's like Katrina.
Hanging
What was
out,
it?
yeah.
That was the thing about Katrina. It was just sitting there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when they're offshore and they're just crawling at 3 miles an hour, it just
And pumping
know,
water.
circulate. It's basically a pump. It's just
Yeah.
pumping moisture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad stuff. So what do you have going on, Dave? You're not doing any more street corner things, right?
Not well. I'm gonna do one sometime in before the good weather goes away, and it's just gonna be. I think it's just gonna be a concert with the Jill Sky Band.
Well, you're the only one having good weather for outdoor gigs.
Well, I haven't really. I actually played a gig on Saturday, and I had my canopy with me, and it rained a little bit like before, and it rained after,
Right.
but actually during the gig it was okay. So that night was
good.
okay, but I do see that there's a lot of outdoor stuff that keeps getting rained out because of the
Yeah.
stuff coming through. It's a rag. Anyway, but I do have on Monday. I'm going to be with Cooked Up Electric at the feature act at the Shoe, so that's always a fun night.
That's very cool.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, actually, it was over in where was I last night? I went to Frank's having his jam on Wednesday night now out in Stamford, and for the first time I went out there to see what was going on, and it's kind of interesting. Nice room, pretty much.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Very cool. Yeah, Dennis and I almost had a gig together. We almost had a Blues Patrol gig on the 4th of July, and it got canceled at the last minute. We're like, oh, come on,
Actually, I was supposed to play on the 2nd with North County. I don't know if you know them.
Yeah.
It's Brad's in that one, and it was at the Old Post. And what they do is they have an outdoor beer garden, but they don't have a cover for it or anything. So they hire the band for that. But if there's bad weather, then they just have like a duo inside. So I ended up getting canceled, but Brad and Scott still played.
It's a very different time right now. A lot of the venues that we knew are not doing live music. I don't think the Crab Shell's doing live music on the weekends.
Nobody's really started inside large bands. You see a few. What I do see is people that never worked before as singles are out there working. Singles and duos. Everywhere I look, I was talking to Lisa Zuckerberg, who has a website,
right?
Where Here at Where, I think it is, and
Here at Where, yeah.
I was looking at the stuff going on, and almost every gig, everything I looked at was a duo, a single, or very small scale stuff. So that's
they're starting to come in. I've got some indoor stuff going on. At least I think it's indoors in Stamford later this summer with Soul Daddy. We're starting to trickle in with some of that. But the traditional places, I don't think the Black Duck is doing live music right now on the weekend.
Not other than tonight's thing.
Crab Shell's not doing live music. It's going to be a brave new world And I'm staying out of it until September. I've got so much going on. I got caught off guard by this whole pandemic ending. I did not think this summer would be as free as it is.
That quick, yeah.
It just happened so quickly.
Though it's still not great for sidemen. Some people are lucky and they're working. There's a few places like John LeCombe is actually working every week now. He's playing tonight actually.
Right.
I was thinking about going to see him, but that's a different situation.
Yeah.
So there's a few things going on, but it's not the business isn't back yet.
I wonder I wonder how long it will take, and I wonder how and if it will come back. The concern that I have is that restaurants have learned how to survive doing weirdo business, like a tent outside and takeout. And so they're not like their tongue hanging out to get every $100 in the door.
Right.
And maybe they just will go, live music's a lot of work and we'll just keep it. That's
always the concern, that's always the concern. You just hope that there's enough people out there that complain about it not being there.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
But in the summer, there's lots of stuff.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I don't want to make any calls now.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I already had I'm going to Nova Scotia. I'm going to Wisconsin. I'm going to, I went to Colorado. I'm doing another Colorado trip. So, to some extent, I'm okay. I'm just sort of watching it, but I'm picking up some band gigs. So at least I get to have fun. I get to get my chops up. I'm doing DJ shows, which I do a lot of DJ stuff. And I'm getting the bookings for private parties. So that's nice, but it's not the way it used to be. The world has not come back yet.
No.
It'll be interesting to see how it goes. So are you going to head over to see John LeCombe?
Probably not.
What's that place? Tell me do you know anything about the place he's playing in Fairfield?
No idea. It says it's in the Brick Walk. Never been there.
What is the Brick Walk? I don't even know what that is.
That's like a little strip center over there. It's like one of those sort of inlet centers. I think the
Flipside Burger joint used to be in there, right?
The B side. You mean the B side or the B?
Plan B.
Plan B.
Plan B
is in like an old bank building on the inland side of the road. Yeah.
Well, anyway, so we'll see how it goes. But we're gonna sign off Jam TV show 69 on a sleepy, rainy night. And good to see you guys.
All right, man.
Good to see you.
All right, gonna play Steve Wexler, and we're gonna be out. Good to see you. Hope to see you guys soon.
YOLO.
Michelle.
GMTV show number 69. Great to see you all. See you next week. Show number 70. We turned 70.